Koku.
Human beings have at least 6 senses: vision, hearing, balance, touch, taste, and smell. Together, these senses are essential to our safety, our security, and our overall health. When any of these senses falters, our life can easily become endangered. Our sense of smell, along with the sense of taste, monitors the intake into the body of all nutrients and airborne chemicals required for life. This sense protects us from toxic fumes, smoke, fire, leaking natural gas, spoiled food, and dangerous environments. For those in occupations that involve hazardous chemicals, or in situations where smell warning is essential, regular evaluations of the sense of smell are critical for safety. That is why, according to military regulations, all personnel must have a fully functional sense of smell. Smell loss or other olfactory disorders commonly occur for a variety of natural, biological, and environmental reasons. Key among these for military personnel are head trauma, chemical exposure, and post-traumatic stress disorder. Presenting the smell identification test from Sensonics. The smell identification test, also known as the UPSET, was developed at the University of Pennsylvania as a result of funding from the National Institutes of Health. The smell identification test is the only widely used quantitative smell test in the world. Having been translated into 12 languages and backed up by hundreds of peer-reviewed medical and scientific publications, this remarkable test has been administered to over 500,000 people worldwide. Availability of this test, both in the field and as part of each military entrance processing station, will not only ensure that proper protocols are followed, but will also help protect the lives of our soldiers serving in the armed forces at home and abroad. In instances where a soldier requires analysis or diagnosis for an occurrence of head trauma, chemical exposure, or post-traumatic stress disorder, administration of the smell identification test can be a valuable resource. The smell identification test consists of 4 envelope-sized booklets, each containing 10 scratch and sniff odorants. The stimuli are released by scratching strips with a pencil tip in a standardized manner. Above each odorant strip is a multiple-choice question with 4 alternative responses. Stimuli comprised of a number of odorous components are included, thereby more realistically mimicking the types of smells usually experienced in the environment. To establish the meaning of a given individual's smell identification test score, it's compared to scores from normal persons of equivalent age and gender using tables provided in the corresponding manual. A percentile score is established, providing an easy-to-interpret measure of an individual's performance. Additionally, a straightforward determination of whether an individual has, in an absolute sense, smell loss or decreased smell function is provided. Importantly, the smell identification test detects malingering or exaggeration of symptoms by the test taker. In other words, if a soldier attempts to lie about not being able to smell, such deception can be detected from the pattern of responses to the test items. The self-administered smell identification test is economical, precluding the need for its individual administration by a trained technician, nurse, or physician. When less than 10 minutes are available for testing, a shorter 12-item version of the smell identification test, termed the Brief Smell Identification Test, or BSIT, can also be used. Smell and taste testing can be employed to transfer people with olfactory dysfunction to jobs in which decreased smell function has no major safety consequences. Such deployment will both protect the armed services from costly mistakes and protect our soldiers themselves from hazards of which they may not otherwise be aware. Sensonics provides the medical, scientific, and industrial communities with the very best smell and taste tests for assessing chemosensory function. Our well-validated test would be a valuable addition to military testing procedures both in training and in the field. The Smell Identification Test from Sensonics. Quality smell and taste tests for academia, industry, and medicine.